There are a wide variety of different eczemas. The name is attached to all sorts of conditions where there is inflammation of the skin. So that there is atopic eczema, which is the type of eczema that goes with asthma and hay fever. Another common form of eczema is seborrheic eczema, which is the type of eczema that produces dandruff as one of its common features. But there are many other eczemas, including irritant eczemas. So these are the sort of hand eczemas that people get if they do wet work particularly, but also allergic eczemas. So people can become allergic to things like fragrances, perfumes, preservatives in products, and those produce allergic eczemas. So the word eczema encompasses a wide variety of different conditions. Once eczema starts, it's due to the skin being inflamed and unstable. And that instability can persist if it isn't properly managed and treated. So that eczema often does spread. I often use the word vicious circle because the more irritated it is, the more you scratch. If it's itchy, the worse it gets. Important to consider as well that the skin is an organ, and if one part of it is inflamed, that often destabilizes other areas, so that an itch can easily spread from one part of the body to another, and the eczema can gradually become worse and worse and worse. Can eczema be cured? Again, is a difficult question, because that sort of depends on what sort of eczema you're dealing with. I often say to patients with skin problems that they can be treated and managed, but not necessarily cured, because many of the conditions we're talking about here, there is a genetic predisposition to. So that, for instance, the atopic eczema and the seborrheic eczema can sometimes be lifelong problems that need to be managed. That doesn't mean that they can't be improved and controlled with appropriate treatment and management. Clearly, some forms of eczema can be cured if it's, for instance, an allergic eczema, and you can do allergy tests to find out what sort of products that the sufferer is allergic to. Then you can avoid those products, and that can cure the eczema. So sometimes there is a cure, sometimes there's a management, sometimes there's a way of keeping the eczema stable and comfortable, but there is always a way of dealing with the problem. Eczema is treated in a wide variety of ways. The eczema is really an instability of the skin, and one of the major factors is improving the stability. So using general care, avoiding irritants, using lots of moisturizers. Topical steroids form a major part of the management of most eczemas. They have to be used carefully and appropriately and under some sort of supervision, but they are effective, and as long as used properly and carefully, extremely safe. Sometimes the eczema is beyond ordinary external topical treatments, and there is a necessity to use other treatments. Ultraviolet light treatment, for instance, can be extremely effective to treat some eczemas, but sometimes other oral immunosuppressive therapies, such as oral steroids, drugs like methotrexate, azathioprine, cyclosporin, and the newer injection treatments can all be extremely effective at bringing eczema under control. Eczema itches more at night, probably because you're trying to relax and go to sleep. During the daytime, you've got plenty of other things to occupy your mind, and to coin a phrase, take your mind off the problem. When you're trying to go to sleep, your body, your brain is relaxing, it's trying to unwind itself, and the itch doesn't go away, it's still there, and therefore it becomes much more noticeable because you're actually trying to relax and go to sleep. So the itch isn't worse at night necessarily, it's just that your brain perceives it as worse because all the other external stimuli that were controlling the severity of the itch have disappeared because you're trying to relax and go to sleep.